We work across Asia and Africa through 14 country offices. So we work in areas where there is a need for greater work on water, particularly water in agriculture. As we know, this water for agriculture is one of the greatest users of water, 70% around the world. And this is used in terms of irrigation. But we know that that water is also shared with cities, with other urban areas. And we know that water is vital for growth and inclusion. Without water, it stymies economic growth. So we have to think across these various areas of water use as we balance water security. Climate change is a big stressor, and the way we most feel the impacts of climate change are through water. And this is central to our work these days. Climate change adaptation runs through all our projects because we know understanding what is happening not only today in terms of water security, how we can use our tools such as water accounting to say, this is how much water there is, this is how it's being used. But we also need to know what's going to happen going forward, because this has to inform policies, governance, investments, all this type of financing, because we know there's going to be a need for help to adjust to these new climate realities. So some of our work is involved in looking at what those future water conditions are going to be like. How much water is going to be in the rivers? How much water is going to be in the groundwater systems? And where is it going to be accessible? Because without that, people and businesses and agriculture cannot function as well. So we use various modelling, computer-based modelling to be able to predict what the future is going to look like. And then we look at how can we help countries adapt? Where are the critical areas? So, for example, I can bring you an example from Nepal. In Nepal, in those highland areas, there has been a lack of water. The rainfall systems are changing and the springs have run dry. And those springs are vital to these communities. And so we've been working with those communities, bringing together an integrated approach, looking at lots of different areas we can manage. We know that the increase in floods has been caused by deforestation, so we've had some foresting of those upland areas to hold back those floods. We've also been looking at how water is used within the community and agriculture to bring better ways of doing that. We've also been bringing some other nature-based solutions to hold back some of that erosion. And there's a wonderful video now of those springs coming back into life. So we know that climate change adaptation through this bringing together lots of ideas is good. Another area we work in, and increasingly important, is helping to manage droughts and floods. This is critical because it's often in these areas that that impact people the most. People are existing beforehand, but it's those big stresses of droughts and floods that can really tip the balance for many of the communities, disrupting agriculture, disrupting businesses, but ensuring communities don't have access to water and agriculture, that food at that time. So we've been looking at setting up with the governments there, monitoring system using latest technologies, but also looking at within communities who are the most vulnerable and why are they most impacted by droughts, and then working with governments on securing investments for the the new activities that are needed, but also working on drought action plans so that they can be much more proactive the next time the drought or the flood comes along, linking this to insurance products and other ways to help people return to normal conditions after these major stresses have come through. So we are very engaged with water and climate change. We see this as a really important area of our work, and we are working across key areas, these different stressed areas in Asia and Africa, to deliver results to help people, the most vulnerable, adjust to these changes.